Do you often feel that if you were to tell your partner about your needs and something that you may like or not like, you'll look less appealing to them? Or do you feel that if you were to say no to them about something, they may not like you enough and may not want to be with you anymore? If you struggle with such things in your relationship, then this is the video for you because it will help you be more sorted in yourself. Hi, I'm Kashika Gulati, a counseling psychologist, and in this video, you'll learn what boundaries are, why you need to have those boundaries in the first place, and what are the most important boundaries that you're going to make in your relationship to have a better relationship, to make this relationship a better one that you really feel happy in. So, coming from my own experience while growing up, I was always told, either verbally or non verbally, that I have to, for the lack of a better word, please other people. Like, I should be a nice person to them. And now, being a grown adult, I still followed the same things for a very long period of time, and I could understand that it's not working the best for me. Like, a very small example could be that one of my cousins would tell me that she would invite me to come stay over at her place, and say I either don't want to go or there's something that's come up that I don't want, that I can't stay night with her. I'm telling her that I can't make it, but she's after me that I need you to come. We'll have a good time. We'll enjoy ourselves. And I tell you to make plans every time. You never make any plans. And she keeps pushing me to do it. Every time I say no, I know that I am asserting a boundary, but I am told by my family that why are you doing this? The other person will feel really bad. And that's when I would give in that, okay, the other person shouldn't feel bad. But I'm not really considering that I am compromising on my own needs at that time. That I maybe did not want to go. I'm feeling angry that why is she being so pushy and why is my family not understanding me? And all of these things are going on because I want to set a boundary, but I'm not able to, probably because people won't understand and I won't be perceived as a nice person anymore. This is usually the reason, the thing that stops us from setting those boundaries, because we've been taught, we've been conditioned that we gotta be nice people, that we need to please others, that we need to be seen as the nice person who is always there to take care of the other person's needs or something or the other. But guess what? It doesn't help you feel happy. It might make other people really happy, but on the expense of your needs, on the expense of your happiness. And that only makes things worse for you. I understand how it is something that makes the relationships harder, and it is also all the more responsible for people breaking up, because at the end of the day we have two needs, one of attachment and another of authenticity. Our attachment is about wanting to feel loved by the other person. For example, for infants, if they have something going on, they'll just cry it out and they know that their parents or caretaker will show up and take care of their needs. They won't be like, okay, my parents will come and they'll realize in a while that I am hungry and they'll feed me, so let me not cry. They make it known to the other person that they need help, that they need help with something by crying. And that is one need we all have, like throughout our lives. Humans have this need. As infants, we show it in the form of crying, but as we grow up, we are like, maybe the other person will just understand that I have this need. That's where we are wanting the other person to read our mind, or we are going with our assumptions and whatnot. So that's our need for attachment. Another is the need for authenticity. That is being our genuine selves. Really wearing your heart on the sleeve for that matter. That you are what you are. But a lot of times what happens is we compromise our authenticity for the need of our attachment. We want to be liked by other person and we want to have a good relationship with them, and hence we just compromise on our own authenticity. We place our needs secondary, or maybe I don't know, not even secondary, just last in the line. We forget ourselves in our relationships. So this is how we are not being true to our needs, and that does lead to a lot of dissatisfaction and that void within. And if you feel that way, then this is the video for you, because I'm going to talk about the three kind of boundaries that you need to have in your romantic relationship to really make it better, not just for yourself but with your partner too. Now, the idea of boundary is not about manipulating the other person or just telling them that, this is something that I don't want and you got to do this. That's not what boundaries are about. Boundaries about honoring yourself by deciding what is okay for you and what is not okay for you in the most simple of terms. For example, I know it's a boundary of mine that I want people to treat me with respect. When someone talks to me in a tone that I don't like, I just tell them that this is not something I accept. And second, if I feel that they are not respecting my boundary, then I have all the right to leave that space physically, because I know that my boundary is not being respected. And expressing what it is that you need, what you do not need, what is okay with you and what's not okay with you is all what boundaries is about. It's not about the other person, it is about you. It is about you honoring your needs and you being authentic, not just wanting to be liked by the other person, not wanting to be seen as nice, but actually being a good person. It's good to be good than be nice. There's a lot of difference in that, and you'll understand that once you implement these three things that I'm going to tell you about. So the first thing, the first boundary that you gotta have in your relationship is communicate what is a non-negotiable for you in this relationship. So it could be that you need to be treated a particular way, that you have your standards set about the way you gotta be respected, about say any of your expectations that you see having been met if you want to be in a long-term relationship with someone, if you are looking for a long-term thing, or even if it's a short-term thing, then what is it that you require? What is it that your expectations are in that relationship? Your non-negotiables need to be shared with the other person because they may not be the most obvious for others. For you, maybe respect matters the most. For them, it may not matter as much. For them, maybe it's love shown in a different way that's the most important. So make your needs known, make your expectations known, and just tell the other person what your non-negotiables are. What are your values? What are the kind of expectations that you have? How is it that maybe you receive love? Those are the kind of things that you've got to really express for the other person to know. And what a lot of times what happens is that when you actually set those boundaries, the other person may not like them, but they are not for the other person to be liked. They are to be liked by yourself. You may give the other person the time to adjust to it. You may tell them why it is that you have this boundary. If you feel that it will help strengthen the bond, it will help the other person understand the place that you are coming from. But the idea again is not to compromise on your boundary, on your need. So make it known what are your non-negotiables in the relationship. Is it that you want your personal space every time for say 1 hour? Is it that you would like your individuality to be maintained by doing so and so things? What is it that is your non-negotiable in a relationship? And for you to decide that, you really want to sit with yourself. What is it that I want? What is it that I cannot do without? Like, and really sit with it and then communicate that to your partner. This is how you will be able to set your boundary. The second thing is saying no. I know that a lot of people nowadays talk about it, that saying no in itself is a complete sentence, and how it is very important that you make it known to the other person that you don't want to do something, be it say a physical boundary, a sexual boundary, an emotional boundary, or any kind of boundary for that matter. And I know that saying no would be hard for a lot of people because it feels like, what if I hurt the other person? But here that's happening because also because you are placing their needs above your own, and you are compromising on your own happiness for the other person's happiness. And guess what? Even that does not happen. You are trying to make the other person happy, and sometime down the line, you are angry on them for having done something for them, and you are like, I did all of this for you. What are you doing for me? So when it comes from a place of you placing the needs of another person over you, it may not show in the best of way. So saying no, but in an assertive manner, not in a rude manner, can make a lot of difference with someone who really understands you. In a romantic relationship, for that matter, in a non-romantic relationship as well. So if someone says that, can you help me with this? Say if your partner says that, I'd like us to go for a movie tonight, and say you are in a place where you don't feel like going outdoors, you just want to stay indoors and spend time with them. So maybe going to them and telling them that today I don't feel like going out, and I'd really appreciate if we could spend time inside and do something like this. If it makes you feel better, tell them that I'd be more open to this idea maybe tomorrow or this day when I have better headspace. Anything. So saying no is about not about just telling the other person no, I'm not going to do that. If you coming from the place of truth and clarity is the idea of enforcing a boundary. Here you aren't even hurting the other person, and you're also giving due importance to your own needs. Sometimes no could sound different, but the idea is to make it assertive, not rude. And you'll know that once you start saying it. So start off by saying no to very small things. Say someone offers you food and you are just used to not saying no to other person. So start off by saying no, I'm not hungry enough to have it. Even if they keep telling you to have it, you can tell them that I am not hungry, that I don't want to have it. this is a good place to start saying no, and then you can move on to saying no to the bigger things that seem more difficult to you. But always remember that you are saying no so that you can honor your needs and you can have a better relationship with them, so that things don't pile up for you for that matter. The third way that you need to set a boundary for, that is very very important in a romantic relationship, is your right to privacy. So a lot of times this happens with couples that they want to have each other's, say, passwords of social media, or privacy could also look like wanting to spend time together all the time and not being okay with giving their partner their alone time, thinking that their partner doesn't love them if they aren't spending time together. But you have all the right to privacy. How you communicate that to your partner makes a lot of difference. If you are the kind of person who likes to have alone time, then make it known to them, express to them that I would really like to have alone time every once in a while, and that does not mean that I don't love you. It just means that I need I need that time to get refreshed. I need that time to be more with myself. And that's not a reflection of my love for you. That doesn't say anything about that. Let them know what you need to be private for yourself, because maintaining individuality in a relationship is very very important. So if you want that to happen in a particular way, if you aren't comfortable with them having passwords to your social media, or you want to have that alone time, or any other way through which you want to protect your privacy and have that kind of thing with yourself, make it known to your partner. It is very, very important, by expressing this need and also telling them why you are enforcing this boundary. Because it's always a great idea to help the other person also understand the place that you are coming from. It may not be received in the best way to start with, but you'll know with time if the other person is understanding your boundaries. And even if they don't, you are the best judge of whether you want to stay in this relationship, how it is that you can make it happen. But having these boundaries will only make the process easier for you. So these are the three boundaries that will help you greatly in your romantic relationship. There are n number of boundaries that you can establish when it comes to your physical, emotional, sexual, and all of these spaces. But just having these boundaries will help you be more aligned to each other. So make sure that you implement these three boundaries, and let me know in the comments below what is your one major takeaway from this video. Thank you.